Happy Friday, life leaders, and welcome to Lead Life by Design. I am Sheila Wood, the CEO of Lead Life by Design and the creator of the Financial Alignment Academy, where we blend the psychology and personal development with the practical strategies for your personal finances. Today, I wanted to talk about criticism. Is your attitude towards criticism killing your wallet? I want to kind of start off with this with a story. My life has always been about being critical, right? My dad was a very critical person. No matter what I did, it wasn't really good enough. I grew up with that constant berated of, you're a baby, you're not good enough, that's not good enough, you got to be, you need an A. Different things that I felt were personal attacks on me as a child. As I grew up, I recognized that through my career, when I got my reviews, I felt like it was critical as well. I would literally be in the bathroom crying. There was a point with my career with Home Depot where my boss brought me in and she was giving me my review. And I just started crying in the office because I was such a sensitive person to what people thought about me. And I thought I was doing a great job. So when she's telling me the things that I'm doing wrong, I took it as a personal attack. I couldn't even control the tears. And that was a regular occurrence for me. Every time I went in for a review, I couldn't control the tears. And that's just who I was. I'm a very sensitive person. But she told me in that one review, because I'm constantly defending myself, she'd tell me what I was doing wrong and I would defend my actions towards it. And she's like, will you please stop being defensive? I'm just trying to give you some input so that you could do your job better. And I said, but, right? But it was closing down the communication between us. And it was shutting off any opportunity for me to be able to be better at something. Now, I'm not going to say that all bosses have that. There are good bosses and there are bad bosses, but the sheer fact of the matter is they're a boss and they are there to give you information to help you do your job better, right? So I want to start off with the Google definition of what criticism is. When I Googled the definition, it says the expression of disapproval of someone or something based on perceived faults and mistakes. So the criticism that's coming from someone is really based on their own perception of what they think needs to happen, or their own mistake, their own perception of the faults that you may have, right? So when you're looking at the types of criticisms coming back at you, being able to, number one, differentiate what kind of criticism is this? Right? There's 3 times that I'm going to identify here, and I'm sure there's more types of criticism, but I want to touch on 3 different types of criticism today so that you're able to step into each situation and evaluate that for yourself. So the first one I really want to talk about is feedback. And that is a direct relationship between the information you're getting from your boss, your best friend, your parents, right? Is it in my best interest to hear this? So when you're looking at the type of criticism that's coming at you, you're able to say, what kind is that? Is it feedback? Is it judgment? Right? We have judgment on ourselves. We're highly critical of ourselves. We're probably the hardest on ourselves than anyone else could possibly be. But that's our own judgment. And it could be judgment coming from someone else based on their perceived faults and mistakes, right? The third type is just being critical. There are people out there that will be critical of you just to keep you small. It's a power trip. It's one way to play with your emotions, right? To knock you down. The mean girl syndrome, the critical dad syndrome, the critical mom syndrome, right? Our brothers, our siblings. Now, how often are our siblings critical of what we do? When you grow up with consistent criticism and not enough reinforcement that you're doing a good job, we tend to stop hearing the good. And then we start internalizing any possible opportunity to hear feedback and grow. We internalize it, we take it personal, and we completely dismiss it as not ours to hear. So as you're walking through your day and you're realizing the judgments that are coming up, not just for yourself, but towards yourself and towards others, imagine what's coming back at you. When you stop looking at it as criticism, as the mean girl syndrome and the not good enough, you become aware of the information that's actually coming at you, and you're able to look at that different, right? I want to talk really about that review process. I really want to just hone in on sitting in the room with your boss, because that's where your wallet is affected. That's where you have the opportunity to show that you are improvable, that you're moldable, and that you're willing to hear what is coming at you. Because if you're walking in your reviews and you're constantly being defensive, you're defending every action you take, you're not listening to what they have to say. You're not hearing the opportunity to improve. So when you're in that review, well, number one, let me take a step back. Never walk into a review without being prepared to show your strengths and your accomplishments. I did an entire article on leadlifeinc.com on my website, an article blog about should I ask for a raise or not, and how to ask for a raise, right, to be prepared. So go back and read that article to get more information about being prepared for a review. But while you're sitting in the review, and you're hearing what your boss is telling you needs to be improved, the first thing that I recommend is that you go in with an open mind. Go in knowing that you have value, that you have added to the company, but that you're also willing to hear what your boss has to say. You're not going to agree with everything. There's no question about that. But it's not about whether you agree or not. It's about you taking it in and hearing it, being open to receiving the information that your boss is giving you. Because I can guarantee you, when you start being open, there are gems in there for you. Not just gems that are going to improve your career and your work life, but those gems could actually carry over into your personal life. And the sheer fact that you start becoming open to everything that's coming at you as a possibility, you don't even start looking at it as criticism anymore. It doesn't have the impact, even if it's coming from the mean girl. It does not have the same impact to you, because now you're opening to hearing it. You're like, maybe there's something in there for me. Even if she meant it mean, there's always truth behind it, right? So maybe if I just hear what she has to say and take it in and not take it personal any longer, that maybe there's an opportunity there for you to grow. that opportunity might just be that this friend isn't right for me, right? But because you're not taking it personal any longer, you're able to differentiate the difference between, is it mean or is it not, right? Is there something in there for me? So when you're sitting in front of your boss being open, your boss is seeing you as somebody who's willing to be moldable, someone who's willing to grow with the company and not keep fighting against it. All right, the second thing, you know, because we do defend, right? We defend our actions. We did it for a reason. They're not agreeing with how we did something. Ask for clarity, right? It's taking the defense out and ask for clarity. So an example of that would be, you know, I'm hearing you, right? I hear what you're saying, but can I ask what you would do different if you were in my shoes? This was my logic. This was my actions, and now you're telling me that that wasn't the right thing to do. Is there a way that you can give me an example of what would have been a better way? Right? So you're not defensive about it. You're actually taking your logic, right? The reasoning why you did something the way you did it, you're putting it on the table and you're saying, okay, help me see it different, because right now I hear you, but it's not clicking. It doesn't make sense to me because I'm still stuck in why I did it the way I did. Right? That opens the communication. It opens the ability to be able to get more information and more clarity so that you can see it their way. Right? So as you're getting that information, you might not agree, but being open to allow it to come in, just allow it. Like, okay, I hear you. I'm still not quite sure I agree, but I'm gonna allow this and I'm gonna process this. I'm gonna kind of see if this fits somewhere and allow it to process. Take it in. It might be a week down the road before you have an aha moment. But it also might be that you're just gonna let it go because it doesn't really fit for you. But because you allowed it, right? You allowed it and you processed it, your letting it go was because it truly didn't fit for you. But there might be something in there that you're like, ah, maybe I should adjust. Because if I adjust, she's telling me or he's telling me that the job is going to be a better job. Let me try it. It might just work. Having that open communication during a review is so important. It's important for you as an employee to be able to grow to the next step and to the next level. And it's also important for your manager or your leader to be able to know that the company is coming first, right? The company is coming first while you're at the company. Right? That you're willing to grow. And that's how we learn. That's how we grow. That's how we go move up the ladder. That's how we make more money. So being able to be open to that criticism and taking it as feedback is the best possible thing you can do for your entire life, all of your relationships. Because then emotion's going to come up. The first thing is going to come up for you. It's going to go, whoo, wait a minute. Hold on. I have been kicked down my entire life. I'm not letting you kick me too. Right? But taking that step back, breathing it in, allowing it to come in, and having your instincts tell you what works and what doesn't. Taking the emotion out of it because the emotion isn't helping you in this particular situation. Now, if they're just mean, constantly mean, when you start becoming open about hearing that, you're able to say, you know what, this isn't working for me, right? My boss doesn't respect what I do. Maybe it's time for me to look for something different. Maybe it's time for me to move to the next level so I have a different opportunity within the same company, right? That relationship is on you. Opening that relationship with your boss is on you. Allowing yourself to hear how to improve is on you. It's no one else's fault how you feel about it. But recognizing that those feelings are actually coming from something in your childhood or coming from that critical spouse or that critical parent, that critical self, that personal judgment that you have on yourself, that not good enough. When you recognize that that's where the emotion is coming from, you're able to take a step back, take a breath, and say, okay, I'm open. Let me hear what it is that they have to say. And it also allows you to ask for more money because now you're moldable, right? I'm adding value here. I'm building relationships here. I'm not taking things personal any longer. And that feedback is helping me grow into the best possible employee and leader that I could possibly be, right? You can be a leader from any position in your company by hearing, taking it in, allowing and processing, and then adjusting or letting go. Those are all on you, all your choice. I hope that this helps. I hope that you enjoyed the training today. If you have any questions, please IM me. Let me know. I'd be happy to give you some feedback in reference to what's going on if that's the case. Please like the video below. Let me know, maybe you can let me know where your challenge is with a criticism. Do you have somebody who's constantly giving you criticism that you keep taking personal? Let me know down below. Let's see if I can do something to help you. All right? I hope you enjoyed the video. Happy Friday, Life Leaders, and I will see you next Friday. All right? Have a great day.